just when fans thought the Frost family drama couldn't get any darker. Shocking leaked phone calls have surfaced, and they point to Rasheeda and Kirk being at the center of a setup that left rapper T. Hood in the crossfire. But the twist? Their own son Kai's name is being dragged into the mess. This bombshell revelation has everyone questioning just how far Rasheeda and Kirk were willing to go to protect their empire. The love and hip-hop world is no stranger to drama, but this latest revelation has taken things to an explosive new level. For years, Rasheeda and Kirk Frost have been labeled as the couple who could survive anything from cheating scandals to secret children, to business betrayal and even public humiliation on national TV. But this time, the scandal is much darker and more dangerous than anything the Frosts have faced before. Leaked audio recordings have surfaced, allegedly exposing conversations that point directly to Rasheeda and Kirk's son, Kai Frost, being tied up in a shocking setup involving rapper T. Hood. What started as whispers on gossip blogs quickly turned into a viral storm across social media, with fans dissecting every second of the audio. The shocking part: the Frost family might not just be innocent bystanders this time. They may have played a role in orchestrating the entire situation to fully understand the weight of this scandal. Let's rewind. T. Hood, a rising Atlanta rapper with ties to the UC hip-hop scene and heavy connections in street culture, had been making waves over the last few years. His music was gaining traction, his image was becoming more polished, and he was slowly building a fan base that threatened to rival even the veterans of the Atlanta rap game. But just when things seemed to be lining up for him, chaos struck. Earlier this year, T. Hood found himself in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Reports of a setup involving rival crews surfaced after a violent altercation left several injured and T. Hood at the center of controversy. At the time, it was brushed off as another street beef gone wrong. But now, with these leaked calls, everything is being re-examined under a new light. The audio leak allegedly features Kirk Frost in conversation with a close associate. And while the voices haven't been officially verified, fans are convinced it's him. In the call, a man who sounds eerily like Kirk can be heard talking about making sure Kai is good, and T. Hood being out the way, the chilling part. The context makes it sound less like casual talk and more like a calculated move to keep Kai Frost's name clear while pinning the fallout onto T. Hood. Rasheeda's alleged involvement came out in a separate call, where a woman's voice, allegedly hers, was heard stressing that this can't get back to the family, and warning about protecting Kai no matter what. The internet exploded when this clip dropped, because it made it sound like both parents were willing to cross lines to protect their son, even if that meant letting someone else take the fall. Fans immediately began connecting the dots. Kai Frost has been in the mix of Atlanta's young scene for a while now, hanging around rappers and club promoters, while also enjoying the perks of being the son of reality TV stars. Some reports suggest that Kai had a personal beef with T. Hood that started months ago over money and respect in the local music scene. With tensions building, some believe this wasn't just random drama, it was orchestrated from the inside. The Frosts, however, have remained tight-lipped publicly. Neither Rasheeda nor Kirk has officially addressed the leaked calls. Though Rasheeda did post a cryptic Instagram story with the words "people believe what they want," truth always comes out in the end. That only fueled speculation further, because fans interpreted it as either a denial or a subtle confession that there was more to the story. Meanwhile, Atlanta's hip-hop community has been buzzing nonstop. Some insiders claim they always suspected the Frosts were too involved in their son's affairs. One anonymous source told bloggers that Kirk was playing OG behind the scenes, pulling strings to make sure Kai stayed untouchable. Another suggested that Rasheeda knew more than she let on, and that she wasn't as innocent as people wanted to believe. But here's the real kicker: if these leaked calls are authentic, the Frost family could be facing not just public backlash, but legal consequences. Conspiracy, obstruction, and accessory charges could all come into play depending on how deep their involvement runs. And if law enforcement picks this up, Rasheeda and Kirk could find themselves in the very same hot seat that so many of their Love and Hip Hop castmates have sat in before. Fans online are divided. Some believe the Frosts are being targeted because of their fame and that the calls could easily be fabricated. Others say the voices are too clear to deny, and that the Frosts finally got caught trying to play a dangerous game on Twitter. One fan wrote, "Rasheeda and Kirk always thought they was untouchable. Now, look, playing with real street situations got them exposed. Protecting Kai at the cost of someone else's career is wild." Another defended them, tweeting, "Y'all really believe Rasheeda and Kirk would set up T. Hood? This sounds like fake audio to me. Stop trying to destroy black families just for clicks." But the pressure is building, and it doesn't seem like this story is going away anytime soon, with bloggers, media outlets, and even fans dissecting every syllable of the leaked calls. The Frost family's carefully crafted image is beginning to crack. Even Love and Hip Hop castmates are allegedly whispering behind the scenes. One insider suggested that producers are closely watching the situation because, if it escalates, it could become one of the most explosive storylines in franchise history. Given how the show thrives on controversy, it wouldn't be surprising if this ends up front and center in the next season's arc. The most disturbing part, though, is the growing speculation about Kai himself. Did he know his parents were allegedly pulling strings to protect him? Was he directly involved in the setup of T. Hood, or was he just a pawn in a bigger game? Fans want answers, and so far, the Frosts aren't providing any. For now, all we know is this: the leaked calls have put Rasheeda and Kirk in the spotlight in a way they've never experienced before. They've weathered infidelity scandals, secret babies, and financial betrayals, but nothing this serious. If these tapes are real, the Frosts may have finally crossed a line they can't come back from. And as for T. Hood, this revelation could change everything about how his situation is viewed. Instead of being painted as the instigator, he may now be seen as the victim of a calculated setup. That shift could either resurrect his career, drag the Frosts even deeper into controversy. This is only the beginning. The leaked calls are just part one of a much bigger story. And as more details surface, the Frost family's empire might just crumble before our eyes. The leaked calls had already created a storm online. But part two of this unfolding drama goes even deeper. More details have emerged, and the fallout surrounding Rasheeda, Kirk, their son, Kai Frost, and the late rapper T. Hood has taken a darker turn that as the internet dissected every second of those shocking recordings. People noticed something even more alarming. Kai Frost's voice on one of the leaked calls sounded nervous, shaky, and pressured, almost like he was being coached on what to say and who was guiding him. Allegedly, his own father, Kirk Frost. In one audio clip, you can clearly hear Kirk's voice saying, "Stick to the story. Don't let nobody trip you up." That single line sent chills through the fan base. Was this proof that the Frost family orchestrated a cover-up to protect their son? And if so, what did that mean for T. Hood's death? Social media erupted. Hashtags like #JusticeForTheOD and #FrostFamilyExposed started trending. Fans of Love and Hip Hop who once loved Rasheeda as the boss chick running her own business now accused her of protecting corruption inside her own household. People who grew up watching her and Kirk hustle together were now questioning if they had taken things too far to protect their empire. Bloggers wasted no time jumping in. Some insiders claimed that Kai had been hanging around with T. Hood on the night of the shooting. The rumors suggested that an argument broke out over money and respect, and things spiraled quickly. But instead of distancing himself, Kai allegedly called his father right after. That's when Kirk supposedly stepped in to clean up the mess. But here's where it gets even more suspicious. The leaked calls not only showed Kirk guiding Kai, but also revealed Rasheeda's frustration. In one heated clip, Rasheeda can be heard snapping, "I told you not to let him hang around them dudes." Now look at what we are dealing with. That line alone gave fuel to the theory that Rasheeda knew her son was in trouble way before the media ever caught wind. Fans immediately began speculating, did Rasheeda and Kirk help cover up a crime involving their own son? Or were they just desperate parents trying to protect him from being swallowed by the system? Either way, the Frost family's carefully built image was crumbling fast. To make matters worse, Atlanta police sources reportedly confirmed that they had possession of the same audio recordings circulating online. That revelation shook everyone. If the authorities really had those calls, then Kirk and Rasheeda could be facing serious legal consequences for obstruction or tampering with evidence. And while all this was blowing up, the late rapper T. Hood's family came forward demanding answers. His brother released a statement saying, "We knew from the jump something wasn't right. We want the truth. If Kai Frost or anybody else had something to do with my brother's death, we won't stop until justice is served." That statement spread like wildfire, turning the spotlight directly on the Frost family. Meanwhile, Kai Frost remained silent. His Instagram account, once filled with flashy posts and club pictures, went completely dark. Fans noticed he hadn't posted since the scandal broke. Some claimed he was in hiding, while others believed his parents had pulled him away from social media to avoid incriminating himself. But things escalated again when another piece of leaked footage surfaced, this time a security video. Allegedly from the night of the incident, the grainy clip showed what looked like Kai and T. Hood in a heated exchange outside a club. You couldn't hear what they were saying, but at one point, T. Hood shoved Kai, and a group quickly jumped in. Seconds later, chaos erupted, and the video cut off. While it didn't prove who pulled the trigger, it did show Kai was present. Something the Frost family had never admitted publicly. This new leak completely destroyed the Frosts' narrative. Fans began connecting the dots, the calls, the cover-up, the video, and the silence from Kai. Every piece pointed toward a dark truth the Frost family had tried to bury. Rasheeda, known for always defending her family on love and hip-hop, now faced the biggest test of her career and marriage. While some fans showed sympathy, saying she's just a mom protecting her son, others weren't as forgiving. One comment that went viral read, "Rasheeda built her brand on being honest and strong. Now she's no different from Kirk, lying, scheming, and dragging her son down with her." The scandal even started affecting her businesses. Customers began threatening to boycott LHHATL, her clothing boutique, saying they couldn't support someone accused of hiding the truth about a man's death. Some even showed up at the store demanding answers. And Kirk, he seemed unfazed, at least in public. But insiders claim he's been frantically making phone calls to lawyers and fixers to keep the family from facing charges. However, the more he tried to patch things up behind the scenes, the more the leaks kept coming. It's almost like someone on the inside wanted the truth out. So who was leaking all this information? That's the biggest mystery right now. Some people believe a former friend of Kai's betrayed him and sold the recordings to bloggers. Others think someone close to Kirk, maybe even a business partner, was fed up with his antics and wanted to bring him down. Whoever it was, they weren't holding back, and the Frosts were running out of time by now. The scandal had grown so big that even VH1 producers were allegedly considering using it as a major storyline for the next season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. After all, drama sells, and this was the biggest Frost scandal since Kirk's infamous cheating storylines. But this time it wasn't just about relationships or money, it was about life, death, and possible prison time. And as part 2 of this saga comes to a close, the Frost family stands on the edge of complete ruin. The question remains, will they survive this storm? Or will the truth about T-Hood's tragic death finally destroy everything Rasheeda and Kirk spent years building? Because one thing's for certain, the streets of Atlanta haven't forgotten. And the leaks show no signs of slowing down. The fallout from the leaked calls had Atlanta buzzing like never before. The streets, the clubs, and especially the love and hip-hop fan pages were on fire. Everyone wanted to know, was Rasheeda covering up for Kirk, and did their son Kai really play a role in setting up rapper T-Hood? Kai, who had been quiet through most of the drama, suddenly became the center of attention. Clips of him looking nervous in past episodes resurfaced online, and people started connecting dots that maybe weren't there. A viral Twitter thread laid out a timeline of Kai's movements before T-Hood's tragic death, suggesting he may have been around the same group of people last seen with the rapper. Whether true or not, it gave the public fuel for speculation. Meanwhile, Rasheeda tried to do damage control. She took to Instagram Live, her face looking worn out and her voice heavy with stress. "Y'all really gotta stop playing with my family name. This is not what it looks like." These so-called leaked calls are taken out of context. I would never protect anybody if they did something wrong, not even my own blood. But fans weren't convinced. The comments scrolled by faster than she could keep up. "So why do you sound so nervous though? We heard you tell Kirk, we can't let Kai's name get out there. What do you mean by that? Protecting your son or protecting your husband?" The pressure mounted when T-Hood's family released a public statement. His cousin went live on Facebook, tears in his eyes, saying, "We just want justice. Kai Frost had any part in setting my cousin up. We want the truth." Kirk and Rasheeda have been hiding stuff for years, and now it's time everything comes out. Kirk, unlike Rasheeda, wasn't trying to explain himself to the public. Instead, he doubled down on being private. He was spotted leaving an Atlanta lawyer's office, ducking cameras, refusing to answer questions. But insiders claimed he was scrambling behind the scenes to keep his family from falling apart. To make matters worse, another audio clip dropped online. This time, it wasn't just Kirk and Rasheeda. The third voice was Kai. In the recording, Kai could be heard saying, "Man, T-Hood never came around, none of this would have happened. Pops told me to fall back, but now everybody looking at me like I'm the problem." The internet exploded. The narrative shifted instantly. Not only did Rasheeda and Kirk know something, but Kai himself admitted he was tied up in it. Fans began demanding MTV producers address the scandal on Love and Hip Hop. Hashtags like #KissaTupti and #FrostFamilyExposed trended for days. Behind closed doors, Rasheeda broke down. She was caught in a love triangle between her loyalty as a wife, her instincts as a mother, and her public reputation as a boss woman. She told a close friend during a private phone call, which, of course, also leaked. "If Kai's name really comes out in this case, it's over for all of us. My marriage, my business, my family, everything is gone. I can't lose my son to the system." Kirk, on the other hand, was furious at Kai for even mentioning T-Hood on the phone. He reportedly screamed at him in the Frost Bistro one night after closing, saying, "Do you realize what you just did? You think the feds ain't listening? You think blogs ain't watching? You could have kept your mouth shut." The tension became too much for Kai. One night, he went live on Instagram from his car. He looked tired, eyes red, voice shaky. "Everybody is painting me like a monster. I ain't no killer, man. I ain't set nobody up. Yeah, I knew T-Hood. Yeah, we had beef, but that doesn't mean I did nothing to him. My parents are trying to protect me, but it is just making everything worse. Y'all gotta let the truth come out." But that confession only poured more gasoline on the fire. Now fans and bloggers wanted to know what beef Kai was talking about. Some old tweets surfaced where Kai threw shade at T-Hood over a girl. They both allegedly messed with the internet, started connecting dots again, spinning stories of jealousy, betrayal, and revenge. By now, Rasheeda's businesses were suffering. Frost Bistro saw protesters outside demanding justice for T-Hood. Her cosmetics line started getting boycotted, with hashtags urging fans not to support someone covering up for a murderer. The family couldn't escape it. Every move they made was under a microscope. Rasheeda was even confronted in public by a LHHATL supporter who screamed at her, "Stop hiding your son. Let him face the truth." Security had to escort her out. Then came the breaking point. Investigators revealed they were reopening the case into LHHATL's death, citing new evidence that connected someone close to the Frost family. While they didn't name Kai outright, everyone knew who they were referring to. The weight of the world seemed to crash down on Rasheeda. She posted a cryptic message to her story: "Family first, always." No explanations, no clarifications, just those two words. But Kirk had a different approach. He reportedly met with producers and warned them, "If y'all try to use my son as a storyline for ratings, we're done with this show." It was too late. The streets, the blogs, the fans, they've already made up their minds. To them, Rasheeda and Kirk weren't just reality stars anymore. They were the couple who covered up a setup that ended in tragedy as the season of Love and Hip Hop neared filming. Insiders claimed Rasheeda was considering quitting altogether to protect Kai, but others whispered that she knew it was already too late. The Frost legacy had been destroyed. And at the center of it all, Kai sat in silence, watching the internet tear him apart. Wondering if loyalty to his family was worth the price of his freedom. The truth was coming. And no matter how hard Rasheeda and Kirk tried to bury it, the world wasn't letting this one go. If you've been following this wild ride, then you already know this story is far from over. Rasheeda, Kirk, Kai Frost, and even T. Hood are caught in a web of secrets, lies. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because the way this drama is spiraling, the fans' opinions might just shape what happens next. And if you're loving these deep dives into the real tea behind the scenes, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next explosive update. Trust me, you're going to want to be here when the next chapter drops. It's only getting messier from here.